Always just work on yourself. Self-improvement is a journey. It doesn't end. Paano mag-move on sample? Okay, we'll set aside yung self-improvement na lang muna. Paano mag-move on sample? Um, I highly recommend na maghanap kayo ng mga YouTube videos na hindi sa ano, parang how to get laid, um how to parang get over your ex, mga ganun. I would say that the easiest way na parang mag-move on ka is self-improvement nga naman din. It's I know. Wow, wow, masyadong pilit ba? Masyadong pilit ba yung ano, yung whole idea. But hear me out lang. Okay. So, after going through some emotionally trying times, I stumbled upon sa YouTube nga naman na parang may isang channel called The Love Chat. And you can actually look up most of yung videos niya. But yung pinaka one of the most important na videos niya dun, or actually hindi nga siya video, it's literally parang monologue lang. Parang katulad lang nito, pero dark screen, and it's just the topic title na nakasulat dyan. And that's it. So, there's this thing called na no contact. So, yung pinaka-simple summary, sorry, yung bobo. Yung pinaka-summary lang naman nun is, if there has been a decision made na na-dump ka na, na-reject ka na, or in any form or way, na-reject ka na, you can let the person know na just contact me if you change your mind. And then you end up na you just try your best not to contact them anymore. Kasi in the end, the person who made the decision na hindi ka napiliin or ma-cut off ka na, it's their decision eh. Hindi yan naman overnight yan na, oh, nagising ako, parang gusto ko na breakan to, parang just for fun. Woo! Parang ganun. No, hindi siya ganun eh. Most of the time, if you've been in a, like isang long-ish relationship dun sa tao na yun, it wasn't a decision that they made ng overnight na parang bigla-bigla na lang. They had to kind of like gear themselves up for it. Tapos, I think we should see other people. But that's basically it. That's like me. That's my worst impression ever. But that's basically how it happens. And then when you get told that, ano nangyayari usually? You beg for another chance. You try your best to like say parang hindi, mag-iiba ako, magbabago ako para sa'yo, ganun. But again, I said nga 9 times out of 10 people are so set on their ways na hindi talaga sila nagbabago, or if ever magbago sila, slight lang, konti lang, pagupit lang, I don't know. And then after like 10 days, a week, a month, ganun, they'll be back to themselves. Taking from personality psychology naman, or mga psychology na ganun yung studies nga, or yung mismong parang yung body of knowledge na yun, people are set on their ways. Usually kung medyo na set na yung personality nila by like end of yung teenage years nila, there's hardly any changing them na talaga eh. May konting modifications, and usually negative experiences lang na nakaka-change sa kanila konti-konti, pero hindi siya malaki. So, ayun, you can beg, you can cry, you can plead, but usually the person who's right then and there, the dump ka nila, there's really not much you can do to change their opinion or yung parang pinaka-decision nila. And so, the reason why nasabi ko self-improvement is such a big part of yung parang mag-move on ka. Kasi most of the time, what you deal with right then and there nung madadump ka is the feeling of loss din eh. Nawalan ka eh. And people have a very strong drive to try to go after what they've lost. It's in everyone. I'm not going to blame you for it if that's happened before, if you begged, you pleaded, you cried. Kasi I've done it myself. kung umalis man yung tao. But uh, a little bit after that, it's best na to just think of it na they made this decision for themselves. They made the decision to walk away and choose somebody else maybe. So, sobrang hirap. I still have some friends out there na nahihirapan hanggang ngayon na the other person just got cold. The other person just doesn't respond anymore. The other person just faded away. That's fine. I mean, of course, that's not. I'm so sorry. But I guess yung sinasabi ko lang dito is it's fine to struggle. It's fine to feel like you haven't really gotten over them just yet because it's definitely going to be something that in the exact same way na hindi overnight yung decision ng tao, you're not gonna be able to like just rip yourself away from yung relationship na yun, yung attachment na yun, because if it was that easy, then you were never so emotionally involved in the first place. Hindi never naging mabigat yung emotional investment mo dun. So, yeah. Part of yung moving on is going to be trying not to just contact the other person, just leave them be, give them their space. Kasi if they will come back to you or decide that they want you back anyway, they'll contact you. Yan lang naman eh. If they won't, they won't. And that's that. So in the meantime, the other reason, other than the fact na you lost something, na yun yan yung feeling mo na parang you really want them back, is because when the other person leaves, it kind of gives you a hit sa ego mo somehow na it kind of hits on your insecurities na am I never just not gonna be good enough? So I'm sorry, that sentence not making sense. Am I never going to be good enough? Am I not good enough? Kasi itong tao na to, umalis sila, maybe lumalala yung issues mo sa sarili mo or naramdaman mo yung issues sa sarili mo na maybe I'm not good enough. That's why the other person left. Maybe that's why the other person got cold. Maybe. You don't know that. There will never be any confirmation unless ibebeg mo pa dun sa isang tao and dun sa tao na yun na umalis. And if they did even tell you, then good for you. But most cases, they're just gonna say things like we're incompatible. Uh, eh, parang literal yan yung mukha. Parang, that's it at best. They're not gonna. There's not much. There's not much that they're gonna be able to tell you. So in the meantime, while you're just trying to respect your decision, you're going to need time. You're going to need yung space nga naman away from the person or distance, and you're going to need to work on yourself. Kasi the moment that you do kind of work on yourself and you start to see all these things that are getting better about you, and other people are now um, praising you for this and that na before wala sa'yo, you start to feel a bit better about yourself and you start to feel less na kailangan mo yung isang tao na yun. And of course, ito yung mas prefer ko na method na tawag na no contact. You can look up the love chat. No, I'm not sponsored anyway. I just really like the guy, si Rory, bless his soul, na na it's really good. It's just really good. Na very hard hitting even though parang normal lang yung boses niya. Na he just advises you to always just work on yourself. Self-improvement is a journey. It doesn't end. A lot more with yourself, and you start to be able to get more for yourself. As he has said several times na din, you may not even want the person back. Once you've reached a certain level of self-improvement and it's been some time, give it like a year, give it 2 years, you may not even want the person back anymore. Imagine mo kung from yung dati parang super skinny whatever ka lang, or super iba yung katawan mo, and then you keep working on yourself, and then later on, sila pa yung kakatok or manggugulo sa Telegram, I don't know, Messenger. And then they just say things like parang, oh, I want you back, ganun. And that's when you'll really realize and you'll really feel, and I quote Rory dun sa love chat on this, the best revenge is a life well lived. You can ask for all of the advice in the world. You can do anything na you're gonna read everything. You can ask for the help of all of your friends, but at the end of the day, you're the person who has to live with yourself. You're the only person that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. And if that's the case, then do you want to live with yourself na as you are right now for the rest of your life? Would you date the person you are right now for the rest of your life? Me? No, no. I will not date this, no. Unless, a joke. So, yeah, so if a person can't change much, isn't the self-help industry toxic somehow? It is incredibly toxic for me and for those who have probably started to read yung mga articles out there na nakasulat na parang how the self-help industry is just that. It's an industry. Industry siya. The only selves they're really helping most of the time, 9 times out of 10, is themselves, yung authors mismo. Na you can always mention one or two things na ramdam mong parang makatulong. Oh, these are the 10 steps to self-improvement. Ganun. And while they may be kind of true, it's sometimes just rephrased every time na recycle lang yung words, but the same things are there. The same things are there, and I think yung pinaka-main na I can save you money on buying yung mga self-help nga naman, most of the time is accountability. You're going to have to be accountable for everything. It sounds bad, it doesn't sound acceptable, it doesn't sound easy, pero yun lang talaga eh. Kasi being accountable means you accept that where you are right now is because of what you've done in the past. Maybe there are things na out of your control, pero you still have to be accountable for those things kasi no one else is going to solve those for you. It's just there, and you're gonna have to deal with it anyway. If you're gonna blame others for maybe having a better lot in life, if you're gonna keep blaming others for having more than you, for having things better than you, having a better bod, it's not going to do anything. You're going to feel a bit better kung mag-complain ka sa mga ibang katulad mo na parang ano pa yan? Meron talagang mga tao sa mundo na ganyan na nakuha na nila lahat sa mundo. And that's true. Pero yun nga, it's not going to change the fact that this is what you have right now. And I think most people don't want to hear that. And I understand why. Kasi syempre, sinasabi lang nila na some people out there have it better than you. Di ba ang sakit? Di ba putang ina, di ba ang sakit? But being accountable means accepting the fact that others have it better than you and others also have it worse than you nga naman. We have our advantages and other people have their advantages, and it's up to you to actually think about it. It's up to you to actually use those advantages for yourself and maybe learn from yung mga disadvantages mo, see how you can work around it. Yan lang. I just saved you like, I don't know, mga ilang thousand pesos worth of self-help books. Though, if I may recommend a few naman, I will link a few in the description. Number one talaga for me is Start With Why ni Simon Sinek. It doesn't really it all feels very instinctive or parang alam mo na parang alam mo na yung feeling parang alam mo yung mga sinulat na niya but reading it for yourself will really change a lot naman talaga in how you think about things and why you actually even think about things. Whew. Paano mo malaman talaga na love mo na sarili mo? Good question. Kasi if you accept yourself, if you love yourself, that might mean na you're contented na with what you have. But if you're already contented with what you have, then will you still strive further for more, for better, 'di ba? Eh, sa to lang, I think that humans are really geared towards getting more, improving themselves more and more. I don't think that anyone should be like 100% contented there, else like walang progress talaga eh. Desire is what moves people. Yung parang being able to live para makakain sila, makakadinom sila ng milk tea, I don't know, is yung parang pinaka dahilan kung bakit sila gumagalaw eh. But I would say personally, you will know that you already love yourself if you're more comfortable with how you are. You're still striving for more. You're still trying to improve yourself, pero you kind of like how you are. Does that make sense? I'm sorry. You don't beat up yourself so much about like not being as handsome or pretty or as muscular as other people anymore. Muscular or like basta lagi namang meron eh, lagi namang may mas mataas sa eh, pero are you comfortable with that fact? Kung may dumating sa party mo na naka Lamborghini tapos sobrang maskulado and sobrang yaman, are you actually comfortable with the fact na they're there and you'd be like, hey man, parang you don't like look at them na parang dapat ako din eh, parang ganun. So I think it's just being satisfied with how you are somehow, but you're still striving for more. Personally speaking, ganun ako. Overall, I just feel like yung basis of self-improvement nga naman talaga is accountability. Kind of accepting where you are at the moment, and then from there you can just further develop more and more. There's very little else that I can talk about when it comes to that. A lot of it sa to lang, baka i-link ko na lang via improvement pill. Things like to-do lists, little tips and tricks that can actually help you become better than you were before. I'm not gonna tell you to be the very best, better than you were before. Na little tips and tricks, because most people are always going to do what is easy. Their misery loves company, 'di ba? People will always follow yung path of least resistance. It's never going to change. It's always been that way. And that's yung pinaka difference between those who are at the top and those who don't really do as well. And that's why sobrang daming tao nandyan, di ba? All other factors considering, I know. Or all the other factors na parang considered nga naman. People who accept where they are and work from where they are right now, sila yung likely na mas mag-improve kasi hindi sila like completely shut off from like improving who they are right now and what they're doing at the moment na sa totoo lang is not working. I forgot who it was that said I forgot who it was who said nga na insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So yeah, it's a lot of being accountable. Thank you for everyone who's been here. Once again, this is Ken, and gusto ko lang sana, from parting words lang, we are going to be coming up with a few YouTube projects nga naman. Yung isa is the Roastcasters, yung isa is yung Spice Dudes. Both are gonna be relatively entertaining. We're working on some projects, some content naman na really good. Okay, so thanks, and maybe I'll see you next week. Have a good evening. Bye bye.